going to go ahead and get started here with our post-race availability for this afternoon's Folds of Honors Quick Trip 500 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've now been joined by our race-winning crew chief, Rudy Fugle. First of all, Rudy, congrats on the win. We appreciate you coming and joining with us after the Victory Lane celebration, but tell us just a little bit about those final laps from your vantage point.
Yeah, no, thanks for the congrats. It's really exciting to be able to get a win. You know, just that restart and that final led to the final set of laps, and knew we had one of the strongest cars, if not the strongest car, but it's all about getting the pushes and trying to stay ahead of that. So our spotter Brandon Lyons and William did awesome. We're able to control the lanes and go back and forth, and even just getting the lead back was phenomenal. So you know, holding our breath, hoping to get back the lead, and then once we got there, just holding your breath to control it. So super proud of everybody.
All right, and we've now been joined by Rick Hendrick as well. So we'll go ahead and open up for questions for both Rick and Rudy. I know I saw a few hands raised, so we'll go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with Kelly.
Kelly, CrandallRacer.com. Rudy, two things. First off, it was said over the radio after you won the race, and William said it in his TV interview about the hard work that went in overnight and changing some things, working late. Can you walk us through the work that was done on this 24 car after what you saw in practice?
Yeah, so for the first time this year, really, we were off in practice. Just had some wrong philosophies, wrong setup items, and the way practice was, we were just trying to get laps so William could get comfortable, but we really need to work on the car more, but needed to make a plan. So once we got out of here and got back to the hotel, our engineers and you know, even at the shop in here, we worked till 9. We got some dinner, and then there was emails going out until midnight. You know, so coming up with a plan, came up with a good plan. Thanks to we used a lot of the 9 stuff to help us, guide us, and then made some good decisions otherwise. And then give that to the guys to come in this morning, and they got an hour and a half to pretty much rebuild the race car. And so they did phenomenal getting the car built, get through tech, and put a race car on the track capable of winning and not dominating, but being really, really fast, close to dominating.
And did you guys come here with a super speedway philosophy and car setup, or did you come here with the typical Atlanta setup?
No, it was a blend. You know, a lot of super speedway thoughts, and then, you know, some Michigan, some Texas repave, and you're just trying to, and this car's still brand new, so there's a ton we're learning that, you know, you're trying to apply. So missed it on a couple things, but it didn't take much to get it where we needed to be.
Okay, we're going to continue with questions. We're going to go to Jordan and Bob. Go ahead, Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic. I have a question for each of you gentlemen. Rudy, from your perspective as a crew chief, old Atlanta configuration and type of racing versus what we saw today, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought racing was really good today. You know, there's some things with the track, you know, some big bumps and some character. You know, it's difficult, it's stressful, it's a different type of racing. You know, crew chiefs, we loved coming to Atlanta, just like drivers did, because if you got it right, if you were perfect, you did your homework, and you could go dominate. You know, you could have 8-10 second leads, and that's snoozers for TV, but it's something to be proud of, you know, from our side of things. So we really enjoyed that challenge of how hard Atlanta was and how much fun it was with tire fall off, making that good. But this is you know, when you have to repave tracks, this was a good product today. I thought it was really, really good.
Rick, from a car owner's perspective, Daytona, Talladega races tend to be expensive. You guys tear up a lot of equipment. It seems like this is going to be kind of in that same vein. As a car owner, are you okay with adding 2 additional super speedway type races to a schedule, and what may be your bottom line?
Well, we have not had very good luck at finishing, plate races. We've been in a great position, but we seem to get in wrecks all the time, and I don't think this is going to be quite as bad. These cars are more durable, and you saw it today. Usually when you have a wreck down at Talladega, Daytona, it's just trashed, but a lot of cars were able to finish, and so I think it's going to be easier and better with this car, and I think the speeds here at this track. So I believe it's going to be a great show.
All right, we're going to go to Bob.
Apocalypse Fox Sports. I have one for each. Rudy, were you concerned at all about right rears blowing after seeing what happened to the others? Goodyear said they were looking at, but they didn't know it was all Chevrolets and it was all ones who were running up front.
Yeah, no, definitely. The speed and having to run pretty much wide open to lead compared to 70% throttle for a full lap to be second or third is definitely putting a lot more stress on the tires. So we're kind of managing ourselves there, and was trying to teach our coach William into doing some lifts, and just if we could lift a little bit and slow the pace down a little bit and not get past, then we could save the tires. So definitely at a repave, you're always kind of worried about the tires. You got hard tires because you have so much load, but eventually you put enough heat in them and they blow out. So definitely on our mind. We kind of knew where because we share information, we kind of knew where some of these guys were and thought we weren't in worse shape at least than they were. So just try to manage it.
And Rick, I would think that most of you feel that kind of 4 plate races is enough. As far as when it comes to Daytona and Talladega, this kind of makes it 6. Like, do you want to cap it, or is there any thought of, some people say, well, if this works, then maybe they should do it at Texas or do it at any of the other mile and a halfs?
No, I vote to cap it. With our record at plate races with finishing, I think this is enough.
All right, we're going to continue with questions. We're going to go to Matt Weaver, Mike Hembry, and Deb Williams here on the left-hand side. Go ahead.
Matt Weaver, Racing America. For Rudy, I believe this is the first win as a spotter for Brandon Lyons. So just the job that he did with a really chaotic style of race, and how important was it to get him his first Cup win as a spotter? Yeah, no, it's huge. I'm really proud of Brandon. I've known Brandon for a really long time, going back to Eric Jones' late model and truck days, and kind of been friends with him since. So getting a chance to work with him is really exciting. How much passion he has for racing, and how much hard work he puts in during the week. He's been working really, really hard. Him and William have a good relationship, so they've been working outside of even what I know, and in this lingo, all these, like he said, I think he changed 2 batteries today because he talks so much. So he talks more here than you do at Daytona and Talladega, because when you get in that top riding lane in Daytona and Talladega, you kind of, what to expect, and the runs aren't as quick. And here the runs were gigantic, and they were so fast. So spotter had to be on it, and Brandon did a great job.
All right, we're going to go to Mike right here.
Mike Hembry from Auto Week. Rudy, it looked like with about 10 or 12 laps to go that you might not want to be first, the way the runs were taking place and all that. But William got out with got some space. Was that the approach you wanted to take, or were you feeling pretty safe being in front there in the last few laps?
Yeah, William stated it during the first stage that he thought, being second was a better spot to be. When the 1 was fast and we were fast. I think it was the 8. We were kind of all making runs and just kind of learning. And if you get the right run, it's tough to be the leader for sure. But we just had a lot of things go right, and Mr. H talked about it before the race. Sometimes, some point, things have to go right for you, and we've had a lot of bad luck and bad circumstances this year that have kept us from winning races, I feel like. And today we just had some things go right. Some guys, Blaney and whoever got up together and got out of lane, and then the 20 going underneath the line with the 1 getting side by side, and it just kind of generated it stopped the runs from generating. So it worked out for us. So I'll take anything we can get.
All right, we're going to go to Deb.
Deb Williams, RacingToday.com. I have one for Rudy and one for Rick. Rudy, of 2 of Williams' 3 Cup victories have been on super speedway style racing. What makes him so good at that?
Yeah, no, he's become a great restrictor plate racer. He's really aggressive, but knows how to use the runs and take the pushes and give pushes. And I mean, it's hard to say what makes somebody great. Everybody talks about Denny when we come to these places, but you got to have good cars, got to have good engines, and then he's just done an awesome job of learning what makes the car stay up front at these places. And when we're not wrecked, he's usually up front.
And Rick, with Williams' victory, 3 of your 4 drivers have now won 3 of the first 5 races. It's the first time that it's been done since Carl Kiekhaefer did it in 1956. What does this mean to you?
Well, you know, I'm awful proud of the organization and the guys, the way they work together. And, you know, we've been fortunate. We had a couple of breaks to win one of the races, but I'm proud of them. And, you know, it's really hard today with the cars that we have, and everything's equal. But I think the talent of our guys, like Rudy said, Williams just been unbelievable on the plate races, and so I'm just proud of them. You know, we might hit a streak here and not win one, but I'm really proud of the speed and the way they're staying up front, and hopefully we'll continue to win more races.
All right, we're going to take one final question for Rick and Rudy here from Dustin Long.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Rick, already this season there's been a race in a stadium. You've got a super speedway race at a 1.5 mile track. You know, here in a couple weeks, you'll be going back to a dirt track. What do these changes mean, and what do you hope to see, or what are you looking forward to more as the sport seems to continue to evolve?
You know, I think it's great for NASCAR. I mean, the stadium brought a lot of new fans in. The dirt track, I've got people coming out of the woodwork wanting to go to Bristol now for that race. And I think it's exciting for the fans, and the drivers are adapting well. And this car would basically run the same car everywhere. And so I think it's great for the sport, and I'd like to see a street race. So hopefully we'll just continue to work outside the box, and I think that's drawing a lot of new fans for us.
And why do you want to see a street race? And also, secondly, I know the Texas race ended. This one got started. Didn't know if you'd had any contact with Jimmy, or your thoughts about Jimmy having his top 10 today.
No, I did not. I did not see the race. What happened to Jimmy? 6. You know, we felt like when Jimmy got on the oval, he would be more competitive. So I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of Jimmy for jumping into a sport and trying to relearn against all these guys, or learn the sport. But I felt like when they got to ovals, he was going to be good.
And why a street race?
I just think it's exciting. I mean, I think it's different. I think it would be, you know, why the Coliseum race. So I mean, if there's a right street circuit that we could race on, I just think something different brings in a new level of fans, and it's excitement. It's exciting, and it's something different to talk about. So I just think it keep changing it up, and it just seems to bring in a lot of new people that we hadn't seen. The age group and the Coliseum, where people, I think they said like 60% never been to a NASCAR race. So I think just doing something different than you've done for years and years is good for the sport.
All right, for Rick and Rudy, congratulations again on the victory. Thank you again for joining us